Music is full of detail. BTH helps you see it, hear it, and practice it one musical moment at a time. Let's walk through the very first time you open the app to see how to get things moving. To get started, just sign in with your Apple ID. This connects your access to your Apple account and lets you use BTH on your Apple devices. After that, create a local password for this device. BTH uses this device password to let you open the app here, including when you are offline. Once that's set, BTH opens in Play mode, in Play Express View. This is your first interactive workspace, a place where the music, the keyboard, and the visual guides all work together. BTH welcomes you with a piece that is already loaded, analyzed, and ready to play. Bach's Prelude No. 1 in C major from the Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. We want you to start with music already waiting for you, so you never have to face an empty screen. At the lower part of the screen, you'll see the piano keyboard. This is where BTH turns the music into something visible and immediate. As notes are played, the matching keys respond on the keyboard in real time. You'll notice C4 stays highlighted. It serves as a fixed visual marker on the keyboard, which helps you spot the octave quickly and stay oriented as you follow the music. You can scroll the keyboard to control the octaves visible on the screen. This feature is available in all modes, so you can move through the keyboard smoothly no matter where you are in the piece. Around the keyboard, you also see labels near the keys. These are called dancing levels. They show musical details for the notes that are playing, such as note names, fingering, duration, solfege, register, volume, or voice. Dancing levels do more than show you which note is being played. They also show you the musical details behind that note as it appears in the piece. Now let's hear and see that connection in action. Press play. As the prelude begins, the keys light up while the dancing levels appear beside them. This gives you a visual path through the piece, so you can follow the music with your eyes as well as your ears. This view is helpful from the start. You can listen to the piece, watch how it moves across the keyboard, and begin to connect sound, note information, and hand positions in one place. If you want to change the information shown around the keyboard, open the Dancing Levels panel. Here, you choose which details appear during playback. You can place up to 3 levels above the keyboard and up to 3 below it, depending on what you want to focus on. For example, you might want to keep only the note names and fingering for a simpler view. Or, you may want a richer view that also shows duration, solfege, or voice. This means Play Express can adapt to the way you learn. You can keep the screen calm when you want less distraction, or add more information when you want a closer look. You can also choose how much of the piece BTH will play. To do that, open Sections to play. Here, you can play the whole piece, start from the current point, or choose a custom section. This is useful when you want to stay with one phrase, repeat one idea, or work on a small passage without returning to the beginning each time. If you turn on Loop, that selected section will repeat until you stop it. You can loop a specific part of the piece or the entire movement, depending on your choice. This is especially helpful for practice, because the music comes back to the same place again and again without extra steps. Just above the keyboard, you'll see the Player panel. This is where the main playback controls live, so you can manage the piece from one place. From here, you can play, pause, or completely stop the music using the automatic playback controls. You can also use the arrows to move forward or back through the piece step by step with manual playback. On Mac, use the right arrow or any alphanumeric key to move forward and the left arrow to go back. On iPad, with an external keyboard, the controls are the same. The player panel is also where you choose the tempo. Set the BPM that feels right for you. Slower when you want more time with the details, faster when you want to feel the line move more naturally. You can adjust the playback settings with the sound and dancing levels checkboxes. Choose whether you want to hear the sound, see the levels, or prefer just a visual cue. The player panel also lets you control how the focus moves through the piece during manual playback. You can choose to go moment by moment or note by note. You'll also see the position details around the keyboard. At the bottom, BTH shows the current key and time signature, measure, moment, and starting point. At the top, you'll see the go-to indicator. It displays the current measure, moment, and on click allows you to quickly go to any other movement. These help to stay oriented as the music moves forward. So, from this first screen you already have a lot of control. You can start the piece, watch the keyboard respond, choose which musical details appear, decide which section to hear, and set the pace that works for you. That is your starting point in BTH. Not just opening music, but stepping into it. Next, we'll look at how to move through the piece with more precision. The Bach Prelude is there to help you begin the right way. But of course, BTH gives you much more than one piece. To explore the music, open the library. This is where your music collection lives inside the app. Here you can browse available pieces, preview them, and open the one you want to work on. To make browsing easier, the library is organized step by step. First by composer, then work, then edition, and finally movement. The specific piece you open and play. So you always move from the big picture to the exact piece you want. That makes it easier to find your way even when the collection grows. And before you open anything, you can preview it. Just press the play button next to the movement to hear the beginning of the piece. This is a simple way to check the sound and character of the music before you commit to opening it. When you find the one you want, tap the movement name to open it. Once the movement opens, BTH switches to read-only mode. This is your study space, the place where you can look closely at the music, follow its structure, and get oriented before you play with it in other ways. At the top of the screen, you'll see the movement header. This is where BTH shows you the name of the piece, so you always know exactly what you're looking at. The main area in front of you is the Momenta panel. This is where the music is displayed in BTH's own visual format, so you can follow the piece not just as notes on a page, but as a structure unfolding in time. Inside this panel, the music is organized in layers. Measures divide the music into bars. Inside each measure, moments show what happens at one point in time. And inside each moment, you see the individual notes that sound there. This makes the music easier to follow step by step. You're not trying to take in the whole piece at once. You can look at one measure, one moment, or even one note at a time. You can also set your focus inside the piece. Tap a moment to focus on it. If you want to look more closely, press and hold a note to focus on that single note. You can press the Shift key of your Mac or iPad keyboard to quickly switch focus from one note to moment and vice versa. Focus helps BTH understand where your attention is. It also sets the pace the app will use when you begin playback or continue exploring the movement. You can also select a sequence of moments. If you start playback while they are highlighted, the system will loop that section for you. And if you switch to Play Express, the system automatically fills the drop-downs in sections to play with that range. And if you want to make the view more comfortable, you can adjust it right here. Use the size controller to change the size of the notes and the padding between them, depending on how much detail you want to see and how close you feel like leaning towards the screen. You can also use the color controller to change the background color of the Momenta panel. It can make the view easier on the eyes or simply match the mood you're in that day. Next to the Momenta panel, you'll see the leveling panel. This is where you decide how much musical detail you want to keep on screen, and which details matter most to you right now. Each row here is a level. For example, note names, fingering, duration, or other musical information attached to the notes. So instead of trying to read everything at once, you can shape the view around what you want to notice. And a quick tip, to easily identify the levels, click the tooltip icon to reveal their full names next to the numbers. If you want a simpler view, you can hide a level. If you want to keep a level visible but quiet, you can soften it. And if one detail matters most, you can let that one stand out by clicking the plus sign. If you need to focus on just one level, use the Hide All But This feature by clicking the level number and choosing your option. Or double-click the column to uncheck all checkboxes and clear the view. This is especially useful when the screen starts to feel busy. You can clear away what you do not need for the moment and leave yourself with a cleaner, calmer view of the music. And if, after making changes with the checkboxes on the size controller, you notice that some moments spill out of the Momenta panel or the layout looks off, simply click the Refresh Layout button located before the movement title in the Momenta panel header. This will automatically update the layout and ensure everything fits neatly back into place. Just above the keyboard, you'll see a familiar control area, the player panel. Here, in read-only mode, it gives you the tools to listen, follow, and move through the piece step by step. From here, you can play, pause, or stop the music. You can also use the arrows to move forward or back through the piece one step at a time. You can also set the tempo here. Choose the BPM that feels right. Slower when you want more time to take things in, faster when you want to hear the phrase move as a whole. And just like before, you can decide what playback shows you. Turn piano on if you want the keyboard to light up as notes play. Turn focus on if you want BTH to follow the current moment or note on screen as the music moves forward. In read-only mode, you'll also find position details that help you track where you are in the piece. At the top, you'll see the current position. On the left side in the leveling toolbox, there are additional details like key, time signature, and measure. These keep you oriented as you work through the piece. With these position indicators, you always know exactly where you are in the music. If the piano keyboard or leveling panel is too distracting, you can always hide it. This lets you immerse yourself fully in the music structure. Now, let's move into reports mode. While read-only mode lets you explore the music as a whole, reports mode lets you zero in on specific sections or details. It's where you can get precise, targeted practice, making it one of the most powerful tools in the app. In reports mode, you can filter the music using more detailed parameters. These filters are located on the left, under the leveling table. You can focus on things like register, note, solfege, fingering, duration, volume, starting point, and moment measure sequence. The filters display all the values that exist for this level within the movement you are exploring. These filters let you isolate just the notes or moments that match your chosen criteria. For example, you could choose to hear only the left-hand notes or focus on specific fingerings. When you apply filters, the piece adjusts in real time. Only the filtered notes and moments will remain visible and playable, so you can really zero in on the details you want to study. You can also set a specific moment measure range, so your filters only apply to the section you're working on. This is especially useful for breaking down complex passages, working on specific challenges, or practicing one part of the piece in isolation. Once you've chosen your filters, you can start playback, and the app will play only the filtered sections, giving you a focused, precise practice experience. The app will hold pauses for the moments or even whole measures that were not included in the reports, so you can always stay in sync with the tempo. And just like in read-only mode, you can choose to hide the piano keyboards and leveling panel if you prefer to focus entirely on the momenta panel. This lets you dive deeper into the music structure without any distractions. Finally, we're entering playground mode. This is where you can actively engage with the music, practicing and experimenting with the piano in a more hands-on way. In playground, you can practice one note at a time, just tap any key and you'll hear it sound. This is perfect for getting comfortable with the notes before playing the full piece. You can also build chords here. On Mac, simply hold down the Shift key, then click each note to play a full chord. If you want a specific note to stand out, click it again. Each time you click, that note's volume will increase by 30%. This is useful if you want to highlight a particular note in a chord. Need to adjust the sound? You can easily change the volume of the entire keyboard to control how loud or soft the sound is. In Playground, just like in read-only mode, you can also resize the keyboard to suit your needs. This way you can find the perfect balance between detail and comfort. Now, let's look at settings. Here you can customize your experience to fit your needs. You can adjust things like your keyboard settings, including whether or not note names are displayed above the keys. You can also toggle right arrow plus mode to help you visualize sustained notes while navigating. Next, the note naming language section lets you choose the notation system you want for note names, like English, German, French, and more. You can also enable the alphagraphic mode, which changes the way accidentals are displayed, either as symbols like A# written with a pound key, or as full names written out A#. The solfege system section lets you select between classic or Seiler solfege naming conventions. This updates the names displayed in the solfege level. In subscription, you can manage your plan, cancel or renew your subscription, or renew any previous purchases. The language section allows you to select your preferred interface language, whether it's English, German, Russian, or French. Under Password, you can change your local password for extra security, especially if you want to use the app on multiple devices. The synchronization settings let you control how the app syncs data across devices. You can enable or disable synchronization and even delete locally stored data. If you want to adjust the overall look, go to Appearance, where you can switch between light, dark, and system mode. Lastly, Account Management lets you log out or delete your account entirely if needed. Once you've made all your changes, simply hit Done to save them and return to your music. Working with BTH on iPad and Mac is very similar, offering almost the same experience across these devices. However, there are a couple of small nuances that differ, and we'll highlight those for you now. First, all the buttons for Settings, Library, Dancing Levels, Sections to Play, Play Express, Read-Only Mode, Reports, Background Colors, and Size Controller are conveniently located at the very top of the screen. This can make navigation even easier, giving you quick access to everything you need right at your fingertips. Second, the player panel on the iPad looks slightly different, but is still just as convenient as on the Mac. It's positioned right where it was under the keyboard, giving you easy access to playback controls. Third, the iPad's touchscreen allows for a more physical musical experience. In the playground, you can touch chords exactly as you would on a real piano. Because the screen supports multi-touch, you can press multiple keys simultaneously to hear full, rich harmonies. And then finally, the manual playback arrows are located on each side of the panel, making it quick to move through the piece step by step. Let's take a quick look at the iPhone experience. You should get the same powerful tools as the Mac and iPad, just optimized for a smaller screen. Just like on the other devices, you'll land right in Play Express as soon as you sign in. The iPhone Play Express version follows the same structure, but with the control panels and tools located in the upper part of the screen. The keyboard stays at the bottom, and you can still scroll it easily to reach any octave. You can also control playback using the player panel, which is conveniently placed right here. It allows you to adjust the tempo, pause, or move step by step through the piece. You can also toggle focus to highlight specific moments. The current moment values, dancing levels, and sections to play panels are also placed at the top. Expand them to control how the Play Express operates. When you're ready to work with other modes and pieces of music, click the cross icon. This gets you to your main workspace, Read-Only Mode. From Read-Only Mode, you can easily access all other tools, settings, library, play mode, and reports like on your Mac or iPad. The functionality remains similar, so you can quickly switch between them. Just like before, you can use the leveling table to adjust what musical details you want to see, like note names, fingering, or duration. But good news, on the iPhone, the leveling table is even easier to use. All the musical levels are clearly named, and you no longer need to take extra steps to adjust their visibility. This makes it quicker to focus on the details that matter most to you. Tap Library to pick your new piece to practice, and it'll open automatically in read-only mode. Reports mode is where things get a little different. While similar to the Mac version, it's designed for filtering the music to help you concentrate on specific sections. On iPhone, Reports has a more compact view. Here, you have access to just the most essential filters. You can select left hand, right hand, soprano, alto, tenor, or bass, the most commonly used musical parameters. You can combine those filters to create a highly customized report. Any section of the piece that doesn't match your filter will be hidden. This helps you focus on the details that matter most. When you're ready to go back to the full movement, simply clear the filters and restore the complete piece. As for the settings menu, on iPhone it works just like on the Mac and iPad versions. From there, you can customize your experience, adjust your keyboard settings, choose your preferred language, manage your subscription, and many more. And that wraps up our tour of the main features. But don't worry about trying to remember every single detail right away. Want to know a specific button does without breaking your practice flow? Click the little tooltips scattered around the app. They'll give you a quick breakdown of how each feature works. If you ever want to dive a little bit deeper, you can click any of the highlighted terms inside those tips. It'll take you straight to that specific article in the user guide, where you can explore the topic in greater detail. You can also open up the complete user guide whenever you need it directly from the app. On Mac and iPad, it's available inside Playground mode. On iPhone, you can find it right in your settings. The guide is split into 3 easy-to-navigate sections and is packed with cross-reference links. This lets you bounce between related topics and master the BTH environment at whatever pace feels right for you. That's all you need to get started. The rest is up to you. Play around, explore the different modes, and let the music guide you.